great practice. And I have to apologize to everybody because when I was trying to prepare this, I was
Hello,
writing up
Inez.
like a script, like for a classroom setting. So either I'm writing a paper for my teacher or I'm writing a lecture for my class. School. Oh, I miss school. Okay, so I'd like to thank everyone for this opportunity, for showing my work, and for doing this one first time Zoom thing. It's a big experience. And I just want to say I miss everybody. So I have a theme for this, and it's going to sound a little crazy at first, but where I've come to right now, non-conceptualism, the space and intersections between identity concepts, community, self, and other within the visual vocabulary. As there are many vocabularies, many concepts, and many identities, where is reality or truth? So please bear me because at 70 years old, my mental dumpster is deep and vast and somewhat confused. All right. So at this point, I'm trying to understand how art making, the materials, the vocabularies, the self and community intersect. Within my whole life as an artist, community has been the most important. With school, I loved being a student and a teacher, and then, painting poetry and doing murals. And it's just wonderful working with other people. Um, So groupthink offers formal paths, here I go with the academic, towards discovering and sharing techniques about design, observation, styles, cultures, historical and mythological, including religious and pop cultural symbolism. There's exposure to many ideas which can be invaluable in a community setting. An open approach might lead a person to realization that concept of self or identity, community and its symbols can be pliable with opportunities for tremendous growth, empathy, and communication. This can allow for a fluid evaluation of how identity is formed by creating authentic ways to communicate with others. This has been a great joy. This is also a world where anything is possible, enabling a forum for philosophy, politics, history, psychology, math, concept, utilitarianism, you name it, art can do it all, right? So, but identity can have its dangers if grasped too tightly. If not careful, patterns of stereotypes can be created, including fears and demonization. And with so many identities and tribes, there can be trouble. So my question is, where is the space in between them all that can be true and real? Okay, so in some of my earlier work, I was using stereotypes by putting unlikely symbols together, hoping to affect positive change, create some comedy. In cultural conundrum paintings, I was trying to condense it all, taking them out of the world and me, plucking out the chin hairs, pull the weeds, throw it all on the canvas where it can't come off. It was rather enjoyable at first, but at this point, the present cultural and health structure has brought me to my knees, especially the economic structure that was responsible for my son's pharmaceutical opioid addiction and death 6 years ago. The craziness has to stop. So now I've decided to sit with the cobra of identity mishaps, watch it, accept its presence, but stay away from its mouth. So now I'm searching for the spaces between everything, the emptiness that are strong and true. Okay, so this journey is through a world of non-conceptualism, getting rid of identity. And remember Paul McCartney's song? Imagine all the people. So oil sticks. Oil sticks are great for, I'm searching the common ground without concepts. All right, so I'll read that later. It's getting boring. Now, so I'm going to share my screen, and do a little slideshow, and then I'll just turn my picture off and go down to the studio, which will take about a minute. So, share. Okay, so how do I do this? Let's see, layout theme, slideshow. Oh, it's hiding under here. Uh-oh, all right.
Go over to the left where the slides are.
Oh, there it is. I see it.
Okay.
Present. There you go. Thank you. So this is what I was kind of doing about 10 years ago, just people in the environment, just enjoying people and maybe making some nice collages with beautiful colors. And then I was a mother and I was teaching a collage and painting class at Silvermine. So I was realizing because of this, you guys helped me realize this, is most of my artwork has really been for other people. So this is like a sample of what a person could do. And the theme is my sons and motherhood, and it's a carousel, blah, blah, blah. So then after my second son went away to college, I started realizing, oh, I could do stuff for myself and really enjoy these art materials. Wow, look at all that great gold color. And here's me walking into the world of beauty. And then I find out my son's addicted, and then goes through a phase of anger and trying to help people, help my son. And this here is, a painting of supportive love using the techniques of emotion, fear, concept, the blood vessel as both an injection point, which can kill, or it's also a lifeline to the heart and hold on to life. And this is him gone. Then here's my other son. Now we're talking about a world without, this is what our concepts of what we are, the concept of being a mother, the concept of something is destroyed. But the thing is, most of our concepts are just developed by society or the way we were raised through chance. We're born into a certain situation. So my son's concept of himself, there's no more gravity. The world is very liquid, so how, then all of a sudden we get all this crazy stuff in Washington and people fight against each other. And then, I thought, well, over here on the one on the right, cultural conundrums. I don't know if everybody could see this one. You might have seen it. I showed it in Peak Skill. I'm just trying to make sense out of the world by, oops, wrong way. By, here's Alexa, let's start with Jesus, and, the camel going through the eye of the needle, and samsara. And here we have the guy on the truck. And so Winged Victory, her head falls off and it turns into Betty Boop with this fleshy material. A woman is flesh, and this money in the cracked egg, and the bull on the golden throne, and all these people, which is us. We're all listening to all this stuff and trying to make sense out of what's coming out of the internet. So then all of a sudden, and there's Alex Jones, and people are wanting to chop off the heads of Democrats. And it's like, what the heck is going on? And justice, and these lawyers, and they don't follow the law. They're trying to figure out ways to get around it. Oh my God, it was crazy. So I couldn't take it anymore. So all of a sudden, whoops, wrong way. Oh yeah, this is another one. So I figured, well, okay, all the insults and the bullying, and okay, maybe Corona's coming. I'm just gonna sit there. Whoops. I'm just going to sit there. I lost it. Whoops, this way. Sorry, guys, or ladies and men. Anyway, all right, I'm just going to sit there. There's the cobra. I'm sitting on the cobra of fear and anger and pain, and I'm just going to clean it all up, just like the caretakers are cleaning up the corona. Just clean up everything, and just like maybe that's the way out. So then, I don't know if this is going to work. This is a video. No, it's not working. My video's not working. So I did, sorry folks. I made a video for
Unable to play video.
Okay, so all right, let me just go here. So then I don't know if you guys could see this. I'm sorry. This, I'm in the Arcist. This was in the Arc of the Viral Universe with Carla, and it's gathering all the human pain for the, I'm sorry. Gathering the human pain for the right recycle bin. And when you put things in the recycle bin of transformation, everything that you put in the recycle bin turns into dirt. And then from the dirt grows new things and hope and optimism. So that's what I'm hoping for. So then you see my concepts of myself and the world are totally blown apart. Here I'm doing meditation where I'm trying to breathe, and the lungs, I have to fix this color here. I'm not crazy about that right there. But the lungs, breathing in, taking your breath, the holiness of breathing, just breathing is just a wonderful thing. With all this other junk, just forget it all and just breathe and just take it in. And these are all the thoughts that are just going around. So many thoughts just going and going. And okay, springtime, let's just look at the grass. And isn't it beautiful? The grass and the colors, oh my God, oil paint. Oh my God, the smelly turpentine, all the oils. Wow, what a blast. So then I'm just trying to get into the materials and be here now and just meditate. So here is what I'm talking about with the non-conceptual is searching for a common ground without concepts, identity, or politics. The spaces and intersections between myself and the truth of what I see, feel with my own senses at the present moment, without history, no future, no useless or painful thoughts, no judgments. This is not a bad line. This is not a bad color. Meditation on the moment, the magic of art making, not art for art's sake or abstracting art from reality, but using the art process to be in reality. So here's a summer thing I did at Tilly Foster Farm. And I was trying to just get into the mathematics, the beauty of math and sacred geometry, the pyramid, and there was the pyramid on the dollar. And instead of just a pyramid for building, I have a mirror in the middle. So the mirror is for reflecting life. Instead of being the center of life, being the center that reflects what they see in life. And then I'm totally becoming non-conceptual. And this one on the left is just, I just threw some black and white paint and with a spatula just smeared everything around, and it just turned into two people kissing. I'm like, wow, how great is that? And the same thing with this. I mean, these oil sticks are like to die for, the R&K oil sticks. I don't know if any of you guys use them. They're like butter.
I do.
Oh my God, it's like butter with color in it. And like I just started throwing all these colors in it. All of a sudden it looked a little like a face. So I just added an eyeball and put that there and put some lips on it. I didn't plan, I didn't do anything. And this one was just like I made a background and I was just using the oil sticks, and I just had, oh, like my husband and I just leaning against each other. I mean, what? So then I just started getting into these like egg shapes, you know, thinking about fertility, and it's kind of plants, but not really. And those whole like, there was another artist who did the circles. Remember she did all those circles? I'm like,
Leslie.
yeah, she kind of inspired me there. And then here's the eggs and the mountains, and they look like boobs, and, and those are penises. You know, like, who knows what it is, because you're just doing it. You don't even, I mean, I don't even want to analyze them. You know, it's just like, I feel like I'm onto something really fun, but then where the heck did this guy come from? There's no plans. And then with the oil sticks, you know, like I was using the cheap student oil sticks, you know, with a lot of the wax that doesn't melt. So I just use that. And then you put on the whatever, the R&J oil sticks, and they, oh my God. I think this came out of my son. It's like, it's kind of scary. Now here you go with the oil sticks. Now I have very controlled lines. The other ones were very loose, and you could tell, I mean, I have too many personalities, and I'm so old, and I have too many, what do you call it? Too much stuff in your repertoire. I mean, there's too many things in my brain. So now it's like controlling the lines, and what is this? I mean, this person's being punctured, or
Inez, how big are these drawings?
they're all about, because you know they're oil, and I have like big canvases, so I'm practicing. I don't know what to do on the big ones, so they're all about this size, and they're just, you know, the canvas paper you buy, like the canvas, it's not paper, it's just canvas in a pad.
It's like a 16 by 20.
Yeah, so you just rip it out, and it's really cheap. Or some of it, I had like these really old printing paper. When I used to teach at Silver Mine, they had all the stuff they were throwing out, so I took it. So I just did a bunch on there because it's cheap. You know, I don't have the money to be buying a lot of stuff, and these oil sticks are expensive and addictive.
They are. Yeah.
So then I start getting into some like really weird stuff. I don't know where.
A walk back in art history.
Yeah, this was a little bit like art history, right? Well, you know what I noticed? What's really funny? Whatever kind of music, since I'm 70 and I've lived through so many art historical time periods, whatever music I'm listening to, that's what my artwork starts looking like. One time I was making a sculpture of a fish, and I was listening to Jimi Hendrix. When I was finished, the fish's face looked exactly like Jimi Hendrix's face. Weird. So I guess this is art history too, but aren't they fun, those oil sticks? Oh my God. So I was really into the eyes. Like,
It's like a little trip through art history.
what?
We're up to oh God, it's escaping my mind now, but
What?
it'll come to me later.
Well, they are like really, what do you call it? What year was that? What, does anybody know what year this kind of style was?
1920s?
Yeah, around there, French.
Cezanne?
Yeah, it's,
The one on the right looks like Cezanne.
Orbis?
Yeah.
No, oh God, the woman was like a clothing, it was like a married couple, and they both were into this sort of stuff. She designed textiles as well.
Oh,
Delaney.
You know who I mean?
Sonia
like-
Delaney.
Yes, Sonia Delaney. And her husband also did this sort of stuff.
But it's very
Wow.
bright and
Surrealist, I think.
not at all muddy.
Yeah, they did a lot of things that involved circular, swirling, different forms and colors.
well, when I know that, I mean, I have a grandson who's 4, so he's beyond that 2-year-old stage. But when I was studying artistic development, that little children, when they first start, a lot of them just do circles.
Mm.
So maybe this has something to do with the de-evolution
Mm-hmm.
of myself as a senior. What?
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, this is kind of old fashioned, isn't it?
But
No,
in a nice way. You know, everything in art
also,
is,
retaste history because you're really putting your own mark on it.
yeah.
I don't read it as derivative, but I do see a tracing through some kinds of art history.
Yeah.
Does
In a
anybody-
good way.
does
Yeah.
it-
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to get joyful, you know?
Mhm.
Hard
And-
at this point in our lives.
Yeah,
And at this point in our lives in COVID, let me be clear here.
yeah, and I mean, the reds and the colors just like make me real happy. I go to sleep happy.
Good.
And
It's
you're
good.
doing it as process art as well. So that's good for getting happy.
It
That-
is.
It also
Yeah.
looks like the light is shining through. I
Mhm.
see. things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I'll just go down in the studio now so you can see the studio, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to stop my picture here and just give me a sec.
Carla Ray, you look very much like Cynthia on that.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you live with someone for a long time.
I was too lazy to do a setup. I'm just holding my phone and I keep dropping it.
I'm set up for Zoom.
Yeah, you know, I usually do Zoom because I do it a lot for board meetings. And so all I had to do was get out of my chair in the living room and go into the next room where at my desk is the computer and it's all like just, and then it's nice. But I was too lazy. I was like, I'll just do it on the phone. How are you, Joanne?
I'm okay. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
I know. It's been a long time. Have you been doing any stuff in your studio?
Well, I don't know if did you know that I gave up my studio in Peekskill?
I did not.
Yes. Next
Okay.
one of
It's
I'm
expensive.
doing a new studio tour for my new studio
Where?
in my backyard.
Perfect. It's expensive to rent a studio.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay, so I'm down in the studio now.
Welcome back.
And
Hello.
then we can finish later. So I guess you've seen, can you see this?
Mhm.
So I guess, hold on, I should do, oh, wait a minute. I want to see, I want to do the whole screen.
you
Well,
can-
then how do I do the whole screen?
Well, you're not asking me, but if you push those
Right.
square and click on that, you
For
get.
some reason, I'm seeing everybody. I wanted to see the
Oh,
whole.
you want to click,
Spotlight-
you want
spotlight
want
yourself.
speaker view.
Okay, I got it. No.
Oops.
Switch. There it is. Okay. Okay, so for some reason Hillary's on there. Is there a way you could put me on there so I could see what I'm
You're on
doing?
there now
Okay, I see you.
because I said something.
Speaking.
It's speaker view. Whoever is speaking gets the full screen.
Oh, okay. All right, so can you guys see me?
Yeah.
I can't. All right, so, all right, I can see me little tiny. All right, so, okay, you guys saw these circle things. And so you saw them, and here's the other ones that I was doing.
Yeah.
They look really great together as a series.
You're right.
So this one is really funny. Oh, you can't see because so. All right, so I will move over to another side of the studio. So you could see where, this is my basement.
Wow. Look, what's up with the windows? Nice.
Well, it's like a basement it's hard to explain. The front of the house is up top and the back is down, you know,
Yeah.
Oh,
how it's on the
great.
hill.
Yeah.
So those are all my political pieces. I don't know if you could see all that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just want to say, there's something called pin. And now no
Yes.
matter who talks, I'm seeing Inez because I pinned her.
Oh, but how can I see myself? I see everybody else, but not me. Oh, well.
I
I
think
see you.
yourself.
So, I don't know if you could see here, this is when I was like, can you see attack human on present premises?
Mm.
And there's my son up top. I don't know if you could see him.
I
Yeah,
see
it's
his
on the
feet.
phone.
Can you see it?
I see the lower half of his body.
We have
Oh,
gotten up to his
up.
shoulders. There he
Yeah.
Oh, there you
is.
go.
Yeah, my sweetheart. He was the soul of my life. And so this one I dug up from like maybe 20 years ago. Can you see that one?
Yep.
Yep.
You know, trying to make the world a better place. But, you know, you can't make the world a better place until you can make yourself a good place, you know?
Sure. And even then, lately, it's hard.
I know. So here's some more pieces.
Oh,
So-
look at that one there. That's really very different.
Which one?
The flowers and the green.
This one?
No, next to it.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did a whole series. This was before my son passed away and before all this political stuff. Actually,
Ah,
this is a suburban house. And my son's picture is in here. Yeah, this was part of the series with the one up top and that one.
okay, yeah.
But I did a whole series of them. And here's another kiss. I see, I can't, oh yeah, there's another
Oh, yeah,
kiss.
kiss.
And this one I did just recently. It was like from 3 different pieces, but I kind of like this yellow one. If I could get it straight. Ah! This is just, you know, feel good. So,
Hi.
did somebody just come in?
It's Cheryl.
Oh, Cheryl, I'm almost finished. Well, I'll stay, and I'll show you more.
Okay, I'll
Okay,
be quiet.
so,
I will be quiet.
wait. Switch to gallery. Okay, so does anybody have any questions or ideas or anything?
You have a great place to work. And I love the way, I mean, you have these series going on, you know?
Yeah, the series are nice, Inez. They are.
They're
The fact
very
that you
nice.
work in series is good discipline.
Well, actually, they're not really well, some of them are series, but what happens is after 70 years, you find yourself making similar things.
Hmm.
So, it's like putting things in different drawers, even though you've been making the same different series,
Cool.
So.
Every time you say 70, I think that's just not possible. And
Yeah,
then
it
I realize
happens.
I'm 65. So yeah,
I know you're
yeah.
not the only one who thinks that.
I think it's so great that you've been so productive during this time.
Yeah, it's
It's very
important.
impressive.
She's always been, I've known Inez since our kids were very little.
Hmm.
And our sons were friends when they were like in elementary school. And yeah, she's always been super productive.
Well, it's art making is addictive. They have an Art Addiction Anonymous, and it could get expensive, but I try to make everything I can. And luckily, when working at Silvermine, they always have a lot of like sales, or they give stuff away. Like people have art supplies and
Oh, it was incredible when you think about it.
oh
And you
gosh,
could order stuff. I mean, it was amazing.
I know. I got this roll of linen, a huge roll of linen, must be worth about $500. I got for $8.
Wow.
So yeah, if Silvermine opens again, that once a year they have a great art sale.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are
Inez,
they closed? Do they close for the whole summer, or do they open outside at all?
They had classes in the summer, and they're doing some online, and they plan on doing more in the summer. So, but I'm finished with teaching now.
Oh, you
Are
are,
there-
Inez? I didn't realize that.
You mean
Well,
for
maybe.
Inez, for good?
Well, I'm finding a lot of joy in this new work I'm doing. And I think maybe if there's a possibility to teach a kind of more of a meditative approach towards art making, I think it's very important right now. If I could teach that, I would do it,
Rather than technique classes or kids or whatever.
Well, kids too. I think kids could get into this. Well, kids are really into it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's as far as normal kids classes.
Yeah. Because it's frustrating because when you teach and you try to get people to tap into their inner worlds or whatever, and if they don't have technique, it could be very disappointing for them if they're a fail. But the thing is, they can't feel like.
Fail? Is that a real thing?
Pardon?
Is there a real fail? I mean, it never occurred to me.
It
that-
shouldn't be. That's
Yeah.
the problem. And that's why I'm talking about non-concepts. Because even when I was working at some pieces, there's this one piece, like I keep looking at it, say to myself, I hate it. And then I'm saying to myself, no, I'm not going to be judgmental. I'm going to love this piece just as much as I loved my other pieces. I mean, why do I hate a certain piece? What is it about it, And it's the same way with your thoughts, your actions, the way you're with people, it's all kind of the same thing.
I find that I have moods with paintings. I'll be doing, because I'm painting all the time now. It's all over the place in the house. And, I'll like something and then I'll get pissed off or a bad mood. And I'm like, that looks shit. And I'm like, no, you're just hungry. Or, I have to keep myself away from starting to like dab paint on it with my fingers because I think I could fix something, which is just stupid. But yeah, it's sort of
Right, or just throw it on the floor and step on it.
you're just like the same thing. 1 minute you look at it like I love that. Next minute you look at it like that sucks.
Well, I have two things for that. One is I don't call a piece finished until I've lived with it a little bit.
Yes.
The other is when I see something that needs to be changed, I'll often say, well, that's the next piece.
Right,
Okay,
True.
that's interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting.
right. You could work on something like 10 years later. Or cover half of it up and keep a little piece.
Yeah. With
I find I have
painting,
a lot of pieces I started and put away because I didn't think they were going anywhere. And sometimes I don't throw them out and I find them and say, oh, this isn't so bad. What can I do to it?
Right,
Yeah.
or like when I was working on the Ark of the Moral Universe, I had all these drawings and things in my drawer from like college and for whenever and so I just got them all. I was starting to put them in the journal. It was really cool, thanks to Carla. You know, I found a place for it.
right?
I actually have a question for you, Inez. When you say non-concept, are you really just saying that you're not starting with any preconceived notions? You're just starting with the materials and seeing where it goes? Because I see concepts in the ones that you say are non-concept.
No, I agree with you. Okay, so those were the ones that I don't want to call them rejects. I wasn't successful on those. I'm not totally successful on it, and I get roped into the concepts again. I think a couple of them, you know, the concepts maybe come later. I'm trying to go with, like, I've been doing meditating, right? So when you meditate, there's different ways to do it, is to calm your mind. But then the other thing is watching your thoughts, thought watching, calming your thoughts, but also watching them and realizing that your thoughts are only concepts, but they're there, they're real. But I think maybe what I'm saying is not grasping onto the concepts, not feeling like they're successful or they're important, but they're just there. You know, they're just there to enjoy, like a butterfly. Maybe that's what I mean. Thank you for that question. That was very helpful.
Would you also say that you're working intuitively? Is that something that you do?
Yeah, see, I go back and forth. That's the thing. I'm like, I feel like I have two different personalities. There's the part that's like caught in all these mythologies and histories and symbolism of cultures and all this stuff and what's going on now. And then just like, yeah, being intuitive. So, I mean, how could you do both at the same time?
You're an artist. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even an artist, Inez, and that seems easy for me to figure out.
Well, with art though, could you do
Yeah.
it with art?
Yeah.
Well, in a way, aren't you talking about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind?
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
you're trying not to let the conscious mind rule. And so you're just letting things bubble up. But the mythology and the culture and the history and all of those ideas and everything you've ever done and known is still under there and it bubbles up. You're just not letting your conscious mind pick and choose. Does that sound accurate?
In a way, but I wouldn't call it the unconscious mind. I would call it the aware mind. Because the unconscious mind is the mind where you're like half asleep. It's dreamlike, kind of. And the rational mind is the one that has all the concepts, but the aware mind is the mind that is aware of the materials, is trying to be aware of everything. You know, trying to be aware of your dream state at the same time being aware of your rational state, like trying to put them together somehow.
So you can do it.
What?
You can do it, right?
I guess.
You do it in your art.
Would you say that your supplies influence your work?
Oh yeah, and music. But I have to say, with the artists, it really working in a small book. You're not on this big canvas where everything all means everything. you don't feel so constrained one way or the other. You know, you can mix everything together in a journal. That might be a good idea, is to try to make a painting that's kind of like the journal.
Well, you could do, if you're talking about size. So you could always do small ones like the journal and then join them all together into one big one.
Oh, yeah, I've seen people do that.
Yeah,
That looks really nice. And they put a lot of them on the wall next to each other.
Basquiat did that. What's I can't say their names right. Basquiat, is that who it is?
Yes, but Basquiat. Oh my God, he's
Basquiat,
incredible.
yes.
I love him.
It's a
My
gorgeous
favorite.
piece at the Museum of Modern Art, where he
Oh.
had the whole background is all his, it's like all his thoughts, and then his foreground is the painting itself. You know, is
Yeah.
the whole image, and it's quite rich.
Yeah, he's
But
beautiful.
I had a question about when you're working with these with oil sticks on paper, do you prime your paper first or do you just go right direct?
Well, I did some right direct on the printing paper.
Okay.
I think on printing paper, it doesn't matter, but if you do it on watercolor paper, you have to prime it and it just wrinkles up. But I don't know. I looked it up online and it didn't say anything about print paper. I know print paper takes oil, right? Doesn't print paper take oil?
And
Takes
people
ink.
use a lot of inks are oil-based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact,
And the nice thing about the print paper is it doesn't warp. And I was using print paper that they were going to throw out and it had stains all over it, but you know, who cares? You're just going to put, you know, so, I mean, so that it's like the 3 different kinds of oil sticks. You know, the kids' oil sticks, which are really fun. They have a lot of wax. Then this other oil stick, Richardson, which is,
Yeah.
it's waxy. It's smoother than this one, but I don't like this one. Luckily I just got one, but these things, man, I could just like roll in them. You could just, they're so nice.
You put it on your body, Inez?
Not yet.
Uh,
But I could see like rolling it all over the paper and then rolling on top of it. I mean, it's just wonderful. I guess it would be the heck of a dickens to clean your body off though after you did it.
so some of
Especially
the
with a
active things are
70-year-old
good for
body
you.
with all the wrinkles and everything.
Beware
Oh.
of pigment chemicals.
I've heard that they're good for traveling. Artists who travel and do like residencies abroad will use that.
Yes,
They're
yeah,
really good to travel with.
you don't have to use brushes so much.
Right.
Although it is hard to get a good purple with these things. You know, nice violet, like a light violet. So I have to use regular paint for that. So yeah, I mean, well, that's the problem though, when you work with oils, like if you do collage with the oils or you do, the oils could get all over the collage material. Unless I guess if you put, what do you call it? The gel on top. You do the collage, put the gel on top to protect it. And then if oil gets on, you can wipe it off. I don't know. But it's, you know, it's like a process and I figure I have about 10 more years maybe. Because I don't know what the hell my son's going to do with all my artwork when I kick off. I mean, luckily he's really has a lot of real estate now. He's probably going to stick it in some attic or basement somewhere.
Oil sticks never dry. That's also part of the problem. When you
Yeah,
use
oils take a while, especially these things. These sticks take forever.
Yeah. I'll
So-
share one secret I have about oil sticks or any oil paint. The best thing to clean up it with is baby wipes.
Oh,
Baby wipes are the
Oh.
best
Interesting.
tool for cleaning your anything, your hand.
Oh,
The
that
best.
sounds good.
That's good to know.
I started cleaning my counters and stuff off with them when like wet wipes or Clorox wipes became scarce
Yeah.
with the pandemic. So I just got like baby wipes, and I'd wipe down counters and things with those as
Baby
well.
wipes, best for cleaning oil or whatever. Yeah. Share my little secret about baby wipes.
Yeah.
Any particular brand or just baby wipes?
Pampers.
What is it?
Pampers baby wipes.
Wow.
Can I ask you guys a question? Or you people, folks, ladies, it's, whatever we are, rabbits? What inspires you to work, to make art?
Need.
A need?
Just like it's something that I just want to do. Like if I get up in the morning, color sort of gets me going. Working with color, like there's a lot of things I could walk past in my house that need to be done, and I will keep walking. But if I walk past a painting and there's some paint out, I will get totally distracted over there, and I won't even have coffee or anything. I'll just be like dabbing and painting.
Do you ever find yourself like just working all the time on the same thing and just losing time? And then it's
Yeah.
almost like, did you really have to do that all that time?
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be a good thing that you get into that sort of zone of not having time. It means you've been in your head.
I think art making is addicting.
It is.
And they started doing a lot of studies on it. It's called flow.
Oh,
When you
right,
get
flow.
into the flow.
Right.
It's unlike anything else, and you come up for air and you say, "Oh my God, I spent how many hours on this thing?" But it's so satisfying.
There's
And there are
also,
people who really try to get into that head thing through meditation and different mind things to get into a flow state where it's sort of natural if you're into doing the art, and really it interacts with your brain. You find that you get into it, and like you were saying, when you say did I just have to do that, is it because you had other stuff you didn't get to? Inez, do you like oh wow, I was supposed to do this
well,
today?
so
Totally.
I could work on a face. Say, for example, I start working on a face. I change it about 100 times. And by the time I'm finished, at least if I had Photoshop, I could have saved each face, but it's gone. So I guess it's the difference between real life and photography,
Well, do you think you overwork it?
You're talking about recording the process. I think
Is it overworking or?
No, it's not overworking. It's your process. I think you have a creative process that's your creative process.
But
And if you
isn't
want
it
to
also
document it, you
adjustment?
can with photography, but you don't have, you might want to document it because you might be so involved in it that you haven't seen phase 2 or phase 3. You'd like to go back and see it.
Actually, I have documented it sometimes, and then I find myself mourning the loss of the last face.
Right. You should work on a couple at a time. The only
that
way
could
that
hold.
you can control it is if you work on, let's say, 3 at a time, like even if they're on minor paper or something, it'll keep you from overworking one stage because it'll keep you moving, and you won't be as obsessed with the one and go past the point where you might have liked it. Instead,
Right, well,
you'll
that's
move to the next one and the next one, and then you'll be able to come and you'll be like, "Don't worry, I'll get back to you." And you'll know it'll be fine without you there for a while, but you won't keep going past the point where maybe they had something that you could have pursued because you're on to the next. So you have a couple of other things going, have more going at the same time using the same materials. You know, as far
Well,
as paint goes, but
um,
if it's as opposed to an expensive canvas, maybe a couple are just on paper.
Yeah,
But it
well, of
keeps you
course,
moving.
you always do your best work on the crappy paper with the crappiest materials, because that's, but beside that, then you have audience. Okay, so right now I have this nice little audience here, but there's people who create only for an audience, and they're very successful at it. Some people are so talented, they can give their talent to the world. And then other people are hungry. They want the world to see them all the time. You know, the narcissist. I mean, there's so many different reasons for making art, right? Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
if you're process driven, like you seem to be, I think that's one of the most sincere things art wise. Otherwise, it's more as a design or a product
Well,
producer.
right, because I mean, right now, the way art, a lot of art is, a person calls themselves an artist. Andy Warhol was doing this. Well, of course, not Michelangelo, but a lot of the artists. Then they hire someone to do their design. So the person who's making the piece is the process person.
But
Yeah.
that's very 20th and 21st century,
Yes,
because
yeah.
many artists in earlier times did not consider themselves artists, they were craftsmen.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Then you have art like Carla does, where you're making a statement to the world. And, you know, I don't feel like there's a world that listens to me, so I'm done with making statements.
it is
I mean,
we
can
live in a
reverse
very
that thought,
illogical
Inez.
society.
You know, I try to put something on Twitter and I have like 3 followers.
Well,
So, you know, there's enough people like screaming for attention right now. I mean, am I going to be another goose in the pack screaming?
I don't think you would keep doing it if it wasn't fun. I think
That's
part
right.
of the creative process is being engaged in it and just having fun with it, you know, and not, and if doing it so that it makes a statement is part of your fun, that's a good part. That's part of your fun. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't fun. I go every day into the studio to have fun. And sometimes my fun process is a frustrating fun process. And sometimes,
Right, that's when you leave, right?
no, if anything,
You have to work through it.
I like that frustration because
Okay.
I like to be challenged. I like that creative process. You talked about recording the process. I find sometimes when I record the process, I lose the process. I
Yeah,
find
that could happen.
when I am constantly in that process, as you said, which I love the way you said it, I do a face, then I change it and I change it and I change it. That's just a rich creative process. And when you stop to record it, you've lost a momentum. You've lost a little element in it. But then at another point, if you do that, you gain something then. So I think that has to be a conscious process that you have to do.
Yeah.
Because you have to see what is it that I'm looking for? You know, what am I looking for? And the photographs of photographing that creative process might give you some of that answer, you know, but to be totally engaged in it. I mean, when you said, you know, what happens when I get oil all over, that's great. You know, that's absolutely great. You know, you get oil all over your hands and your face and all over you. That's just pure joy. You know, it's just, and then, you know, you just buy a caseload of those those baby wipes, you know.
Baby wipes.
Well, you know what's fun too about painting 50 different faces on the same person in 4 days is that you've got 50 different memories of that same face, and their memories they'll always You know, which ones will you remember and which ones will you
There's a
forget?
lot of factors that you could play with. You're playing with one piece of paper and 50 different faces. You could have 50 papers and one
Right.
face and see.
Yeah,
what
but it would be in a different spot.
Yeah. Oh, well, you have to, well, then you could do it where we said, do it small, don't do it large. I mean, there's a
Right.
lot of things. That's what engages you. That's what inspires you, is how you can twist and turn and turn and twist and turn it upside down, throw it in the air. The best thing that ever happens to me in my studio is when everything falls down. It's the best thing, you know? I mean, oh my God, I
Right.
never saw it that way. You know, it's just the best thing, you know? Accident.
Accidents can sometimes be the best thing.
Right. Right.
Yep. They teach us a lot.
Mhm.
Okay.
There's no such thing as a mistake when it comes to art.
No.
There's no
And a
such
lot of,
mistake. It just is meant to take you to the next line or the next color.
just like life, right?
Mhm.
So I'm looking and I'm listening to all of us. How many teach
Everyone,
Or taught. Or
Is everyone here a teacher?
everyone.
Nope.
In the,
Not art, but a teacher, yes, yeah.
in the past tense at any
Aw.
rate.
Joey,
Carla, can I
Oh,
ask
that's
you a
Luna.
question?
that's
Hi.
Luna?
Luna.
Sorry, hi Luna.
Oh, peace. Yeah. Look, there's your
Oh.
friend Robin, Luna.
Oh, honey,
Can I ask Luna a question?
Sure.
does she want to come visit?
She can chew on my sticks. So wait, I want to ask Carla a question. Has your art changed after you quit teaching?
Well, it changes a little bit all the time. I'm much more productive since I left teaching. I used to only be able to make art about 3.5 months a year. And now I go in the studio every day. That every day is not productive, but I get in there. I just can't wait to finish the Cupid drawings because then I can really start something.
You get
So
to finish-
January 20th is the day I'm really looking forward to.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ask you that. Is it going to stop then?
Oh, yeah. So the deal was on November 9th, 9th, 2016, I said I was going to do one drawing a week until he was out of office. And I thought he would be out of office within a year. So I just completed the 250th drawing.
Oh, jeez. Now, okay, so how many people, Carla's really good at sticking to a theme, or how many people feel like they're good at that?
Sticking to one thing?
Yeah, like staying to a theme, or like the arcists, you know, it was really difficult for me to just like to keep with the arc of the moral universe and but you can do it if it's loose enough. But I mean, does anybody else here work with themes?
I've only worked with one theme my entire life.
Yes, you have. Right, I admire that.
But
I admire
You're so lucky. What?
it's what interests me, and occasionally when I'm teaching, I will start doing something that is not on that theme.
Right.
And I feel I have no way to evaluate it. I don't have a vocabulary developed. I don't know if it's good or not because it's not my practice.
Mm.
I know, Lawrence, you have themes. Your themes are very upbeat, drinking coffee. You know, I admire that a lot.
Enjoying life.
Yeah, you enjoy life and you put down what you enjoy.
Exactly. And I draw very spontaneously. And the best thing that happened to me was being able to draw on my iPhone, because I have this handy dandy little sketchbook and it's always convenient. And I'm knocking out dozens of things a day on certain days. I probably do about 5 or 6 drawings before I even get out of bed every day.
Wow.
In your head?
No,
On
in
his
my
phone.
phone.
Oh, you just lay in bed and do it?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah, but Lawrence, you also have piles of sketchbooks, real sketchbooks, don't you?
Not anymore. No, it's
Not
all
any.
digital.
What you do with those sketchbooks?
Oh, I still have them, but I don't. Everything
Don't
now is digital.
You're the smart one that doesn't have to worry about where you're going to store all this stuff.
Well, when Inez said earlier about like when you pass away, what are your kids going to do with all your art? That's a concern. And even though I don't have a lifetime's worth of art, well, I do. But you know, I went one time to an artist estate sale, and the guy's daughter had just thrown all of his stuff out on the front lawn, and it started to rain, and she's like, eh. I was like, oh, that's terrible. That's just terrible. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with it either, but going digital has made a big difference in storing art.
yeah.
I don't have that, like I don't have a basement full of paintings that are just piling up on top of each other. I have a
Maybe,
garage.
maybe what I could do like when they, when I incinerate myself, they'll have them put my paintings on top in the backyard and just. we'll all go all
Like a
together.
Viking funeral, only with art.
Yeah. Well, but the nice thing about papers and flat things is you can put them all in a case,
Mhm.
The nice thing about clay is when you don't like the pieces anymore, you can smash them.
Yeah.
Very satisfying. You take this thing and you throw it down and it explodes.
Yeah, but if it's a bowl or a cup, people will still keep using them.
Not if they're exploded.
Not after I smash them.
Does anybody besides Joanne remember Brooke Marr in Peekskill?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because she suggested a First Monday salon. This was a few years ago. And the question was exactly Inez's question. It was, what do you do with your art, or what do your kids do with your art when you pass? And she titled it Dumpster of the Vanities, which
In PSA 1 down in the city, they had dumpsters, and they called it bad art. And people could bring their art down and throw it into the dumpsters, and it became a performance piece. And eventually, the dumpsters were carted away and dumped at a landfill. And I think it was there for a couple of years.
When I was at college, we had a event. They had like a once a year event, and it was the ceramics department. Everybody would get the pieces that they didn't like, and we'd get really drunk and have the fires, and we'd throw our pieces that we didn't like in the pile. That was fun.
You guys know of Wallace Putnam? He was an artist who lived in Yorktown.
No.
He was never very famous, but he was a very talented artist. And he did this giant, big piece, and it was way ahead of his time. It was kind of a figurative, just something wild, sculptural kind of face. And he had it for years, and he always cherished it. And one night he got drunk, smashed it, threw it out to the curb, and a couple days later, the Museum of Modern Art called him up and they wanted to buy it.
You'll see some of my paintings on the curb tomorrow.
Yeah.
In hopes that the museum wants it.
But if you get a chance, Google Wallace Putnam. Some of his items are online.
That's why we.
He's a very talented. He was a very talented man.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Well,
Robert.
Putnam.
Yeah. Ironically, one of David Bowie's cousins found this guy, took care of him in his later years, and David Bowie ended up owning all of his art.
Wow. Well, that's what made it famous.
No, well, somebody wrote a book about him and kept him going, but he was always on the fringe of the art world. People in the art world of his time knew who he was.
Yeah, check it out tomorrow. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
More art styles to study.
Yeah, that's I like looking at so much art, and then it gets confused into my work at times.
Yeah. You know what I've been enjoying, especially with the corona, the summer where you get to go out, but I've been enjoying looking at videos of people making their own artwork. I was thinking I might do that. You know, just watching other people make art. You don't have to make a mess. You
Yeah.
can watch the results, you know. I mean, that's the fun part of teaching, right?
You watch people on YouTube. I don't know how good they are, but there's a lot of videos on YouTube of people painting and doing crafts.
You know, they're fun. I do not call some people's art good and other people's not good, because some people who make these judgment calls don't know what they're talking about.
I think
Really.
good. Like, let's say some of them are making stuff that might be sort of, you know, just like, you know, not really, you know, just like craft. It's about craft more than about anything. It's about, you know, they'll show you how to make flowers or something. Like there, it may not be fine art, but you learn a lot of interesting techniques.
There are some interesting techniques. I like to examine different people's minds and the way they work, even if they just started painting 1 year ago. You know, it's fun. But I mean, yeah, that I'm not a gallery owner, so I don't have to make those judgment calls. My livelihood doesn't depend on it. You know, like Hudson Valley Mocha. That's what their whole life depends on.
I don't really mean that. I mean somebody
Finding
just
great artists.
No, finding great contemporary artists, and most of us don't fit in their,
Yes.
you know, we have to remember there are, I don't know how many different art worlds.
Yes.
And you have to accept where you fit.
That's right. And I'm in my own world. I know that. We're all in our own world.
the contemporary art world is so much like fashion.
It has become,
Very
and it's an industry, really.
Yeah.
The commercial art world is an industry.
Yeah, it's an industry.
And
I mean, it has its place, you know, and I mean, I have to say Hudson Valley Mocha is doing a lot of good things for us and, you know, in the community. I love the idea that they let us do performances and videos, and they're doing some good stuff for us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Not that I have anything to do with their choices, but.
Well, they want a community outreach, which is important. You know, so if that art scene creates a community or helps a community while they're doing it, that's commendable, right?
Sure. It reminds me, surprisingly, after having left the fashion world, as being sick of the trendiness and the churn and the trying to be ahead of the pack thing and all that, and it's just the trendy thing. I was surprised how much the art world is the same in that part of it, that is higher price, looking for sales to almost investor quality and museum quality stuff. But then most artists are more, it's sort of like in acting. There's like a couple of spots for a Meryl Streep, and then the rest of the people are doing commercials. We're doing commercials. Not that we're not good or bad at it. It's just like, that's, I mean, there's just, most people are not, or community theater, but most people are not going to be real stars and things, and also have the luck and the build up and this and that. I don't know how to explain it, but you know, stuff that's going to be in Hudson Valley Mocha is their hope, you know, their it's investment art.
Well, they make judgments according to their investments.
Yeah.
And that's a business. So I'm not a business. But I'm glad they're there, you know.
It's like any museum.
Yeah. It's nice to see the work. I enjoy seeing the artwork. But
Asset for the town.
what?
It's wonderful.
It's an
Yeah.
asset for Peekskill.
Yes, it has. And I love the owners. They're nice people.
No, they're-
So, but you know, they're different.
He is, not him.
What? But
Go ahead, Joanne, say it.
no
You
gossip.
want me to say it again?
This is being recorded.
No, I won't say it again then.
Well, one thing
Edit
that,
that out.
And you know, I like the young woman who's like, does the promo and all the stuff for Mass Mocha. She's really
Oh,
cute.
Francesca.
Yeah.
She's gone. She's back in the city.
She's back where?
At the moment, at Mocha, there is one employee.
You.
Okay.
Just one.
They've just, I think, hired someone else to help me.
Okay.
He'll be taking over a lot of the stuff that I really am not good at. And he's the nicest guy. I've known him for a long time. He's a musician, no less,
Good.
not an artist. But I am, everyone else is gone. It's just Mark, Livia, and me, and this guy, Chris now.
Wow.
Well, it's COVID.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
How are you going to pay a staff that has
Yeah.
nothing to do? What are we going to promote?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can't. Not
Okay.
until it goes bye-bye.
Okay, so
Okay, folks.
do we cut it off?
Yeah, I think this has been a great discussion. Thank you, Inez.
thank you, Inez.
Yes.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Inez.
I can't wait till we can all get together and have a big party.
Yeah.
Inez, I'm not leaving. I'm gonna talk to you.
know,
for a minute.
We're going to have
Okay,
a
Cheryl.
party.
All
We're
right.
not
Can I?
looking at other people's studios. This is
Yeah.
Yes, I can't wait
Okay.
to see more.
Thanks to everyone for coming.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you.
Thank you, Inez.
Lot
You're
of,
welcome.
lot of things to think about. Thank you
It
very
was
much.
wonderful listening to you all.
Yeah.
Yep,
It was,
great discussion tonight.
yeah.
Oh, good night, Luna.
Say good night, Luna.
Yeah. Good night, Inez. Thank you.
Good night, thank you.
Good night.
Thank you,
Bye.
Brian. Bye,
She keeps
Carla.
giving me the side eye, like, what?
Because
Oh, I
she
wanted to
hears
put
me.
some lipstick on her face. Can I put some lipstick on her?
Yeah. Right, Luna.
She's a sweet girl. Okay, good night.
Night.
Right.